Trump we all deplore. Stop his war against the poor. Donald Trump we all deplore. Stop his war against the poor.
Trump we all deplore.
Stop his war against the poor.
Donald Trump we all deplore.
Stop his war against the poor.
Donald Trump we all deplore. Stop his war against the poor.
We've got some people here from the press, I think. Do you want to wave your hand if you're from the press? And somebody's going to be videoing and recording. Right, Brian? Okay, great. So are we ready to start? Okay, so why are we here today? We're here today because the Trump administration has actually proposed to abolish all government rental subsidies, all public housing, all Section 8 vouchers, and all project-based Section 8. All of it, and replace it with a block grant to the states and 43% less money starting October 1. And further, they're also imposing a 2-year time limit for able-bodied people. So the workers who rely on Section 8 to stay in their homes and communities will be thrown out on the street after 2 years, no matter what. So this is, what would happen if they did this? Well, the states would have to come up with billions of dollars overnight. And if they don't, the owners and housing authorities would be bankrupted unless they either threw the tenants out in the street or raised the rents to 60% of income. That's what it would mean. So all of you who are here from Section 8 vouchers, project-based Section 8, or public housing, that's you. That's you, and it could happen as soon as 5 months. How many people here are from HUD subsidized housing? Just raise your hand. Raise your hands if you are able. I'm sorry?
All government.
All government, all of it, including senior housing, including disability housing, including HAPWA housing for AIDS people. So it's it's a ridiculous proposal because, among other things, it would bankrupt the owners. It would bankrupt the banks that lend to the owners, right? It would bankrupt the small landlords who are taking Section 8 vouchers. They would be forced to raise rents hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars in this area, and throw people out. So it's not good for them either. So this is a crazy, ridiculous, and irresponsible proposal. It is being, now a lot of people know, how many people heard about the so-called Big Beautiful Bill, which is really the big ugly billionaire bill, right? So, yeah, so that got signed on July 4th by Trump. So that is in effect. Those are cuts to what are called mandatory spending. Medicaid, food stamps, Medicare, because it's going to trigger a $500 billion cut to Medicare because of the deficit. So they've already passed that. They've already passed that. So unless the Congress shifts in 26 so it can be repealed, that stuff is going to be kicking in. They were very clever to say the Medicaid cuts don't kick in until after the 26th election. Very clever, right? But we have to get the word out to the people that will be affected now so they know what to do in 2026, right? So vote. What are they going to do in 26?
Vote.
Let's hear it louder. What are we going to do in 26?
Vote.
All right. So we know what we need to do. We need to get the word out in your developments, in your communities, in your neighborhoods, in your organizations, and spread the word. And outside of this state, a lot of us have connection. The Lofty Network is a network of organizing groups around the country. And they are doing similar things to us today about the cuts that are coming to HUD. So there's a second process which people are not really clear about. Amazing. A lot of people who followed the Big Beautiful Bill are not aware that there's a completely different another proposal which is for discretionary spending. It's called discretionary spending. It's the annual appropriations bill for discretionary spending, for defense and non-defense, they say. And that has to pass each year by Congress. And it has to go through a regular process on Capitol Hill, starting with the Appropriations Committee in the House, followed by the Appropriations Committee in the Senate. Then they come up with their different bills and they reconcile them and supposedly pass it by October. That never happens, but we need to be making noise about that. The HUD cuts are in that bill. They were not in the big beautiful bill, which is why we're emphasizing the HUD cuts today. There are other cuts, though, that are discretionary, to the environment, to FEMA, to health care programs, to science programs, right? So that all of them are being cut by 40% or more, ones I just mentioned, right? And but part of it is tax cuts for the rich. That's what this was mostly motivated by, to continue tax cuts to billionaires and millionaires after this year for 10 more years. But it also is to create more, to shift discretionary money from domestic programs that we need to ones that we don't, namely an increase in the war budget, first time increase to the Pentagon war budget to $1 trillion a year, and a triple increase in the budget for the ICE Gestapo and concentration camps that are going to be built all over the country, like Alligator Alcatraz is the model, right? 65% tripling of the budget for ICE and the Gestapo. That's going to affect all of us. Let's not kid ourselves. It's not just criminal aliens. They're already arresting citizens off the street. They're already doing that. And if they have 3 times as much money, you can only imagine what is coming our way. So that is what is currently before the appropriations committees. The first one that's voting is on Monday night, this coming Monday. It's called the THUD, Transportation and HUD Appropriations Subcommittee in Washington. They're voting Monday night. So we timed today's protest to try to send a message to the public, through the media, through everybody we can talk to, people in other states, and today to the Massachusetts Republican Party. So we are standing in front of the Massachusetts Republican Party. They are here at 85 Merrimack Street. They're supposed to be, I was just informed, they're actually not in their office right now. I don't know if they work. Maybe we should impose time limits and work requirements on the Republican Party. But so they're not here. But we were delivering a letter today demanding that they repudiate these cuts. That's the word, repudiate these cuts. We want them to tell their comrades in Washington to repudiate and vote down this cut. They're voting on Monday night. They're voting on Monday night, and then the full committee votes 3 days later, next week. That's why we're doing this. So that's why we're doing this today. Okay, Dennis is asking, good question. What should people do between now and Monday night? Everything. Well, first, show up here and speak out. And we're going to try to get this all out on social media to get the word out that way. Our Massachusetts delegation is not a problem. If you have contacts in other states with Republican members of the committee, we have the target list, and we can talk to us afterwards, and we can put you in touch with that list so that you can convey that to other people through your networks and organizations. A lot of people here are from organizational networks. We don't claim to have everybody in our list. So that's why it's great that all of these other organizations are here. So we're gonna, I think we need to start inviting up the guest speakers. Although we've got, Babam is here. Babam everyone is here? Okay. Are you and the other folks here? Oh, there you are. Yes. Okay. Great. Great. Well, let's start with some rousing chants. How about Donald Trump, we all deplore, stop his war against the poor. Trump, we all deplore, stop his war against the poor. Donald Trump, we all deplore, stop his war against the poor. Donald Trump, we all deplore, stop his war against the poor.
Trump, we all deplore. Stop his war against the poor. Donald Trump, we all deplore. Stop his war against the poor. Donald Trump, we all deplore. Stop his war against the poor.
They're saying, what do we do? Well, they say cut back. We say fight back. They say cut back.
We say fight back.
They say cut back.
We say fight back.
They say cut back.
We say fight back.
They say cut back.
We say fight back.
They say cut back.
We say fight back.
Okay, first speaker is Leroy Stoddard. Where is Leroy? There he is. Leroy. Come on out.
Woo!
Yeah. It's better.
Good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. I'd much rather listen to Michael when he asked me to say something. I live in the Nate Smith House, which is HUD housing developed by Jamaica Plain Neighborhood Development Corporation. After a long struggle with arson-prone property, all this housing that we live in is the result of struggle. And I don't have to tell you, anybody, about what a pleasure it is to live in housing you can afford, that's secure, that's in a community that you love to be in, and to have that threatened is right at the core of our well-being, our sense of security, and our sense of the future. As an old organizer who's been in this for 50 plus years, to end up as a retired person and what you achieved gets threatened, that's a very big threat. And I think what Michael says and what I wanted to add to is all the organizations and people we are tied to that are directly affected by this. So the owner of my housing, Jamaica Plain Neighborhood Development Corporation, should be out here. Their staff should be out here. Their board members should be out here. All the CDCs in Boston that develop housing, they should be out here. All of those Section 8 landlords, they're threatened. They gotta be out here. The banks that finance these developments, they need to be out here. We are part of a network, also called a community, that is under direct threat by our own federal government. A direct threat. It's as though we're being targeted by a weapon. And if we don't respond with the kind of vigor and patience and longevity, as old as some of us are, we're going to lose. And we're losing many, many good things in this country. I'm thankful for that housing, and I will defend it with everything I have left. So I'm good to know you all, and take care.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's give it up for Leroy Stoddard from Jamaica Plain. What do we want? Affordable housing. When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Affordable housing.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Affordable housing.
When do we want it?
Now.
Okay. Next up is Renee Solano from Voucher.
Hi everyone. So yes, I have a voucher, and I'm very grateful to have it, to be honest. And you can't hear me? Okay. I'm a voucher tenant. I'm very grateful to have it. I may look able-bodied, but I've had some serious health issues. And because of the voucher, I've been able to stay in my home. I've also been able to work when I can, which I really, want to do whenever I can. The thing is that a lot of us don't have family that can take them in, or don't have family at all. If we lose these vouchers, and we're talking 1 million people on the street for some tax cuts, for billionaires who don't need them. And honestly, like, I'm going to ask people, if you voted for Trump, and I'm talking to people that might see this on social media. I mean, I don't know if you voted for Trump or not, and it's none of my business. But if you did, call the White House, because this is bullshit. This is bullshit. If you don't agree with what Trump's doing and you voted for Trump, he's going to listen to you if you're his voter. He's not going to listen to anybody who didn't vote for him. He doesn't care. So if you voted for Trump, call the White House. If you have a Republican senator or representative, or people, you have family in states that have Republican representatives, or that are on the committee or even not, call them up. Tell them they're going to be fired. Tell them we're firing them, because this is insane. And I don't know if it'll be turned over, because people are very strange. You never know. But even if it does turn over, we don't have any guarantee that the Democrats will do anything. I'm sorry. I just think that most politicians don't care about regular people, period. They just don't. And there's also, for someone like me who's sick on and off and can work, I don't have any desire to go on disability. I'll do it if I have to, but I don't have any desire to do it. I would rather work if I can. And for those who can't, that's okay. They deserve housing and food and health care too. Housing, healthcare, food, they're human rights, period. And anybody that doesn't agree with that, I'm sorry, not sorry, but you're not a good person. They're human rights. Everyone deserves a roof over their head and food. I am not talking about everybody deserves a big old mansion or whatever, but people deserve a safe place to live, a roof over their head, healthcare, and food, period. I don't care how much or how little money you make. Period.
Yes.
So please, for anybody that happens to watch this, and for anyone that's here, and any of your friends and family, please talk to your senators and representatives. Please talk to the people that are on. Please talk to the people that are on this committee, especially if you have senators and reps there, because they don't listen to anybody who's not in their district. Otherwise, I'd be calling all of them myself. And the other thing about, people who need disability is you have to be out of work for a year before you can get it, if it's even going to be available at all after all this mess. How many people here could afford to not work for a year and still be set? Can anybody here? No, nobody can afford to have. Who's going to pay your bills while you're waiting a year to get disability? So it's not even an option for the majority of people. Talk to your senators, talk to your representatives, talk to your friends and family. If you voted for Trump, call the White House. That's pretty much it.
That's great. Next up for India. Let's give it up for Renee Solano. This is great. Next up is Carmen Allen from Jamaica Plain. Give it up for Carmen Allen.
Hi. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Carmen Allen. I served honorably in the Army for almost 10 years. I'm 100% disabled veteran. I'm 100% disabled veteran with a fabulous outfit. I'm representative of tenants at the Forbes building in Jamaica Plain who pay market rent. I'm considered a tenant at will. So why am I here? I'm not losing food stamps because I don't qualify. I'm not losing housing or Section 8 because I don't qualify. I'm not going to lose health care. That's right, because I have VA health care. I'm here because I care for my fellow Americans, fellow tenants, and people in general who are going to lose these aforementioned benefits.
Yeah.
I feel sick to my stomach, and my sympathies lie with the millions of people losing their benefits to fund billionaires who can rent cities like Venice for their weddings. They can rig elections in swing states and become president with 34 felony convictions. I can't do that because I don't qualify. I don't just worry about things that don't affect me. I'm like billionaires in positions of power. Thank you for listening. Give me a call.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. We all qualify. We all have rights. We all qualify. We're all going to need that social safety net someday. All of us. So we need to fight to protect it. Our safety net is under attack. Stand up, fight back. Our safety net is under attack.
Stand up, fight back.
Our safety net is under attack. Stand up, fight back.
Our safety net is under attack. Stand up, fight back.
No more cuts. Tax the 1%. No more cuts.
Tax the 1%. No more cuts. Tax the 1%. No more cuts. Tax the 1%. No more cuts. Tax the 1%.
Okay, our next speaker is Dennis Heafy, who is on my left from the Symphony Plaza Tenants Association and the Disability Rights Movement.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks, everyone. And my name is Dennis Heafy, as Michael said, from the Disability Plaza Consortium, and a longtime tenant at Symphony Plaza West. And I'm very grateful for the leadership of Nat and Matt in this fight. I want to say something. All of your stories matter. Call your Democratic congressional delegate. Do you know who your senators are? Yeah. Warren and Markey. Call them. Do you know who your representatives are? Call them. They need your stories. They need you to tell them your stories, so they can share their stories in Congress. It's not just about reaching out to Republicans. Reach out to Democrats as well. And if you look at this, these are not about disabled or non-disabled. I have a disability, but we all need housing. And so we can't let Congress pit able-bodied people against disabled people. We all have a right to housing. And so we can't let all of us in this together. And so share your story with Congress. Go home today and call your congressional delegates. If you don't know who they are, Mike can get to those. Mike can get to the information. But that's the one thing you can do today, is to call them. Just tell them your story. What's going to happen to you if you lose your housing. Tell them why you need the housing and what will happen if you don't have it. So do that today. I just think you need to do that. Even do it now. You got your cell phones. Get your cell phone out and call. Can someone Google the number for Warren and Markey? Just give the number out right now and have them call. Yes? It's not excited. So that's it. I'm not going to say anything more other than there's going to be a long fight. They took away our health care. They took away our food. Now they're going for our housing. And now it's really time to really fight them, because we're going to be out in the street fighting. And it's not going to be because we want to be out in the street fighting, but it's because we've got no homes to fight from. So let's keep this going. Thank you.
All right, give it up for Dennis Heafy. Thank you, Dennis. Is anybody here from the Alliance for Cambridge Tenants Public Housing? Okay. Brian Garvey is next up.
Thanks, Michael, and thank you to everyone who is out here today to protest and register our outrage at this disgusting bill that has just been passed. Now, I want to reiterate and expand upon just a little bit something that Dennis just said, because it's incredibly important. When they're trying to pit able-bodied people against disabled people, when they're trying to pit people of different races and different creeds against each other, of different classes against each other, this is what it's all about. To get you to turn and yell and fight with your neighbor while your pocket is being picked. That is what this is all about. It is not about national security. It's certainly not about the debt or the deficit, because they just added a ton to it. Trillions. It is about Mr. Trump and Mr. Musk and Mr. Zuckerberg and Mr. Bezos and on, taking money out of your pocket and putting it in their vault. That's what this is about. Now, my name is Brian Garvey. I'm with Massachusetts Peace Action. We fight against the evil of militarism because it is immoral, but also because it is expensive.
That's why they do it.
Yeah, we talked about discretionary spending, right? The money that Congress is deciding on every year. It's the line in your check, federal income tax. That's what we're talking about. 50 cents out of every dollar goes to the Pentagon. So when they say we can't afford this or that, that's the reason why. Because we're taking 50 cents out of every dollar of your federal income tax and buying weapons with it, building military bases with it. That's not money that goes to take care of veterans. That's a separate line item. And estimates, and these are low estimates, 20,000 veterans are sleeping out on the street every night. Over 100,000 veterans have committed suicide in this century. That shows you how much they actually care about our soldiers and sailors and airmen and Marines. When they bomb countries without authorization, as Mr. Trump recently did, they put soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines at risk all over the world. Many of them were sent to war zones without proper equipment. They came back psychologically and physically disabled themselves. Many of them missing limbs. They do not care about our troops, no matter what they say. This is not about national security. It is about taking your money and stuffing it into their pockets. Now, before I got into advocacy, and actually why I got into advocacy, was before I joined Mass Peace Action, I was a heavy chore worker. I worked with elders, mostly in Section 8 housing in the city of Boston and around. And while I was scrubbing floors and cleaning out basements, it actually gave me a lot of time to listen to things and kind of educate, and ended up radicalizing myself a little bit. And I want to credit Dr. Cornell West and his old partner in crime, Tavis Smiley, and their program that they used to do. The main purpose of which they said over and over and over again was to keep the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King alive, the real legacy, not what did Dr. West used to call it? He wanted to Santa Clausify Dr. King. Now, they didn't teach me in school that Dr. Martin Luther King is one of our most important peace activists in the history of this country. That he connected these issues. That he said that the bombs that drop on poor people abroad fall on people in this country in the form of poverty. And that's why I became a peace activist. Because I realized that if you're spending 50 cents out of every dollar on war, that's why we don't have the best education in the world. That's why we don't have the best transportation in the world. That's why we're not building green infrastructure. That's why we're not building affordable housing. That's why we can't have nice things. Because we are trying to dominate the world and enrich weapons contractors and Trump's rich buddies. That's what it comes down to. Now, Dr. King's point is even clearer now. Because it's not just coming home in the form of poverty, but in the form of militarized police, in the form of ICE agents who are now in our neighborhoods every day, dragging our neighbors off to detention centers, places like Burlington, Massachusetts, and being made to sleep on cement floors. This is happening in the United States of America right now. Now, these are big numbers, right? So let's just take one of them. Somebody said $175 billion for ICE. A lot of that is going to expand the detention centers. It's going to pay them off. Big bonuses for all of these people. So they'll be even more loyal to Trump and his administration. Now, what can that buy you? I did a little quick back of the napkin math. There's about 3.8 million public school teachers in this country. $175 billion, you divide that up, that's about 40 grand for every public school teacher in America. Now, what would you rather spend your tax dollars on? ICE or public school teachers? Yeah, and guess what? The vast majority of Americans, including those that voted for Trump, agree with you. This bill is not even popular among his folks. Now, we are out here in front of the MassGOP to demand that they speak out. If they want to keep their phony baloney jobs, they better start. But we're not going to stop here. Someone said it earlier, I believe it was Renee, we have to get in touch with our Democratic and our independent members of Congress, people at the State House, the governor, mayors, people on select boards and city councils, telling them that if they do not voice their loud opposition and start taking action, they're going to lose their phony baloney jobs too. Because they work for us, and we won't get a thing if we don't make a demand. So what we want is to keep the money in our own pockets and not have them line the vault of Mr. Bezos and Mr. Trump and Mr. Musk and Mr. Zuckerberg. They're all lining up, and they're all lining up to pick your pocket. So we have to make an absolute demand. We are not going to cooperate with ICE. We are not going to allow these cuts to public education. We are not. Thank you. And the working class is with us too. The people who work in this country, the people who live in this country do not agree with this. And it's time for us to get together, to stop fighting with each other about our differences and realize that our opponents are the people who are robbing us every day. So please, make a demand. Tell everyone who represents you that they better start representing you, or you're going to find somebody else. No cuts. No cuts.
No cuts.
No cuts.
No cuts.
No cuts.
No cuts.
No cuts.
No cuts.
Thank you.
Give it up for Brian Garvey. Oh, how about 1, 2, 3, 4? This is the band. 1, 2, 3, 4. Budget cutbacks we deplore. 2, 4, 6, 8. Tax the rich. It's not too late. 1, 2, 3, 4. Budget cutbacks we deplore. 2, 4, 6, 8. Tax the rich. It's not too late. 1, 2, 3, 4. Budget cutbacks we deplore. 2, 4, 6, 8. Tax the rich. It's not too late. Hey, hey, ho, ho. ICE Gestapo, gotta go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. ICE Gestapo, gotta go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. GOP has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. GOP has got to go. Okay, I think next up is Hassan Farouki from the Boston Climate Action Network.
Thank you, Michael. Now, I am here for the same reason so many of us are here. It is too expensive to live in the state of Massachusetts.
Yep.
And we see these costs going up everywhere. We see it when we're at the grocery store. We see it when we go to pay rent. We see it when we go and try and see a doctor. But we also see it every single month on our energy bills. Massachusetts has some of the highest energy bills in the country. And part of the reason is we keep burning fossil fuels that we get from other states. But the good news was that we were on the path to fixing this. Until the Republicans in Washington made the cuts that they did. They cut, in addition to healthcare, in addition to HUD, programs that were bringing our energy bills down. They cut programs that were supporting our seniors in getting access to money to pay for heating in the wintertime. And they cut programs that were investing in renewable energy that was made here in Massachusetts. Now, all of those things don't just hurt our ability to fight climate change, they hurt all of us. They hurt our families, and they hurt our economy. Because every time that we stop investing in renewable energy, it means we're cutting jobs that our residents have. Every time that we cut programs that bring down energy bills, it means all of us have a harder time heating our homes in the winter or keeping them cool in the summer. So why would they do this? Well, it turns out it is the same corrupt and greedy interests that want to raise the price of energy that are also the ones that want to lower our wages. It is the same interests who want to make it harder for us to see a doctor so they can make more money for the insurance companies. And it's the same companies that want to gut funding for public transportation so they can keep selling us cars and the gas that we put in them. All of our issues are connected. And so when I look across this sidewalk, I see so many of us who in many ways are so different. People who come from different backgrounds, different generations. And yet we know that it is all of us who are the reason that this country runs.
That's right.
Because these are the things that folks, the MassGOP and others, want to use to divide us.
John Milligan, Executive Director of MassGOP.
Oh, you need to speak to us. We need to talk to you.
Can we get your answer?
Can you answer some questions?
No thanks.
Well, you need
Enjoy your Friday, guys.
We're not enjoying our Friday. You're cutting our house.
We
don't love you.
Folks are not unique like this person. Because the fact is that these corrupt interests want to divide us. They want us to be divided against HUD tenants, against non-HUD tenants. Folks on Medicaid against folks who aren't on Medicaid. But we know all of our struggles are connected. And we know that the central divide in our politics isn't between people who need assistance like SNAP and those who don't. It is between the top 1% who are rigging this system in their favor and against all the rest of us who need to stand up and fight back.
Yes.
And we saw just a few weeks ago in New York City that these same greedy billionaires who want to buy and sell elections at the federal level try to do the same in cities and towns. But as we showed then, organized money is no match for organized people power. And we know that right here in Boston. They want to make all these cuts in the name of freedom. This is the birthplace of American democracy. They want to tell us what freedom looks like. Bring it on. They don't know who they're messing with. Because we know that just as democracy was born here in Boston, it will be reborn, thanks to all of us here in Boston. And it is that organized power that will make sure not only that we restore these cuts, but that we actually build a society where all of us can afford to go to the grocery store, all of us can afford to see a doctor, and where all of us can afford to stay in our homes, in our neighborhoods, without having to worry about the fear of eviction. And so when I say who's got the power, you're going to say we've got the power. Who's got the power? We got the power. When I say what kind of power, you're going to say people power. Who's got the power?
We got the power.
What kind of power?
People power.
Who's got the power?
We got the power.
What kind of power?
People power.
Give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you so much, everybody.
Great, give it up for Hassan.
The executive director for the GOP just came by and told us to have a nice Friday. Most of us here are about to lose our housing because of what his party is doing. So I hope the media is listening to this. I hope social media is listening to this. That the man who's executive director of the GOP is telling people about to lose their housing because of the actions the Republicans are taking, is telling us, have a nice Friday afternoon. That is disgusting, it's despicable, it's immoral. I want to spit in the man's face for saying that to all of us who are out here who are on the verge of homelessness because of what he's doing. And that all of us should be furious. And anyone who knows anything about the needs of folks in this country should be furious at the Republican Party. And that man in particular for making a remark like that so callous to people who are about to lose our housing because of his actions. So just take that home. That man does not give a crap about any of us here. He does not care, he doesn't see us. Make sure that they do see us. We gotta be out here so we can't get away from it. And just tell us, have a nice Friday afternoon. We're not gonna accept that. So please, take action.
We will try to deliver the letter to him now that we know that they're in their office today. We will try it. We'll leave it off. But Dennis is right. He was very cavalier and walked right by us. We were trying to get him to stop. Shame! 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 The letter that we're going to deliver talks about the other issues in this appropriations bill that Hassan was talking about. They're also cutting billions of dollars from the Environmental Protection Agency, from the science agencies, from healthcare, from education. They're all being cut in this appropriations bill. This is on top of the big beautiful bill, in addition to it. And they want to impose work requirements on all the programs they can grab. So this is what's in their bill. In order to increase funding for ICE, the concentration camps, which will soon be open to all of us as citizens, and the increase in the military budget. So that is what they're doing. And I just want to say, you know, this is on top of the destruction of the federal bureaucracy. The 40-50% layoffs of people in the science agencies, in the healthcare agencies, in the National Weather Service. So don't think that those deaths in Texas were not caused by Donald Trump. They were a direct result of the people that were pushed out of their jobs at the National Weather Service. So those coordination jobs were empty. That's why the alerts did not get out.
Shame.
That's what happened. And they're also destroying FEMA. The director of FEMA just resigned yesterday because her hands were tied. She can't spend any money at all, $100,000, without getting personal permission from Christy Nome, the puppy killer, secretary of the puppy killer, right? Isn't she the one? So look at these people: the puppy killer, the drunk, the lunatic, the spies. That's who they've appointed. The worst possible, most incompetent people in every single position. And they pushed out all the people with experience, wisdom, and the know-how to respond to catastrophes. So we just saw one catastrophe. There will be many more in the next few months alone that they will not be able to respond to because they decimated the agencies that protect us. So that's part of what's at stake. Our letter to the GOP, if they read it, it says to repudiate these cuts, to repudiate the cuts to housing, repudiate the cuts to science and health, all of these things that they are trying to do.
Shame, 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 shame.
We have a letter if you'd like to read it. We have a letter.
He's listening.
No, I said I would take the letter.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Okay,
What can I say about that? Your party. Okay,
so this is the letter. The letter is right here.
give him some ice. Yeah, let him read it so we can finish because it's a little hot out here. We got elders.
So,
Thank you for stopping this time.
No, I appreciate it. I just want to draw my bags first.
All right.
so will you commit to us that you read the letter and respond to it?
I definitely will read the letter and respond to it.
All right. Thank you.
Because these people, everybody here is vulnerable to losing their homes.
you
It's
mind if
not
I
a
take a photo?
Democratic or a Republican matter. These are constituents who may be out in the streets.
Facial recognition.
Work 3 jobs, stay at
We'll
home.
be back. We'll 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 be back.
We'll be back.
Oh, I got some good ones here. How about Donald Trump, you can't hide. We charge you with ecocide. Donald Trump, you can't hide. We charge you with ecocide. Donald Trump, you can't hide. We charge you with ecocide.
Donald Trump,
You can't hide. We charge you with ecocide. You can think of some other words to put in there. I want to call up.
How about genocide?
I'm sorry.
How about genocide?
Well,
He's still funding the bombing of Palestine.
okay.
Without
Donald
tax
Trump,
dollars.
you can't hide. We charge you with genocide.
genocide.
Donald Trump,
You can't hide. We charge you with genocide.
Donald Trump, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Thank you. Now, is Val Bond still here? Val Bonds, yes.
Thank you.
Not wearing the Matthews shirt. Okay. I want to call up Val Bonds from Mass Senior Action.
No.
you're not.
I'm not from Mass Senior Action. I'm not company today. I'm representing the United States of America, I'm representing Cambridge, and I'm representing those people who cannot speak and will not speak for whatever reasons they may have. I'm 74 years old, but I'm so happy to see the young people who are here because who knows what it will be like 20 years from now, 30 years from now. Donald Trump has planted his seeds, and as you know, when you plant a seed, it only grows. The road to Donald Trump did not happen in 2016, nor did it happen at the last election. The capitalistic nature of our country has created the many Donald Trumps. The problem that we have today is this bill has passed. So we are now reaching out, trying to swim to the ship that has already sailed. Put on your life jackets because the stream is long and it's rough. The concerns that I have are not so much with our government, but with the people who are in our government. How did they get there? Who put them there? We did. We did. And those of you who are the we are the ones who did not vote. 40 million people did not vote. And half of those people voted. The other problem is our leaders. Do you think that the Democrats are not counting their stops when this is going on? Politicians have one goal, and that is to get elected. And our responsibility is to vote. And now that's all we have. I met with Congresswoman Presley and State Representative Michael Conley, and I believe Senator Sal Domenico. They are doing their best, but what can you do when your hands are tied? The federal government has tied the hands of our state, so our state is basically on survival mode. And who gets cut first? The elderly, 74 years old. But I came through the civil rights movement. I came through Kent State. I came through the Vietnam. And those of you who come behind me, the 19-year-olds, the 20-year-olds, the 30, the 40, the 50, the 60, the battle continues. The other thing you need to understand is speak up, speak out, and speak often. Thank you. Okay, now I'm going to go home and take a nap.
Okay. Give it up for Valerie. Okay, so we're almost at the end of the list of speakers. I've got Conrad Cizik and Jason Lee next. Conrad?
Yeah, right here. Well, we were told to have a nice day by the executive director of the Republican Committee here in Massachusetts. Well, I have to say, it is not a nice day for many people who are at risk of losing their homes, their health care, and their livelihood. So it's not a nice day. And I resent that dismissive remark, but that's the absolute truth. It's not a nice day. My name's Conrad Cizik. I live in the Fenway. I live in a building that used to be Section 8. No longer, but I have neighbors who have enhanced vouchers who are vulnerable to losing these vouchers, many of whom are elderly or disabled and will be out in the street because they cannot afford the market rents. Also, Fenway, if you're familiar, has a number of portfolio of project-based Section 8 properties and senior housing in the Fenway, such as Symphony Towers, Moorville House, St. Cecilia's Senior in the West Fenway, and Peterborough Housing. Moorville Housing and all the other project-based and senior are at risk. And many of the seniors, my neighbors, friends, are at risk of losing their housing. And this is totally unnecessary. This is not about fiscal responsibility. It's not about enriching the country. It's pure spite. It's pure hatred, pure vilification of people who have contributed to this country. Former veterans, retired workers, retired teachers, all of whom have contributed to the greatness of this country. And now they're being thrown into the ground. Now, in terms of fiscal responsibility, that's nonsense. There's no money for this, there's no money for that, but there's money for $150 billion to fund the ICE, Gestapo, and all of these other tax cuts for the wealthy who certainly do not need it. And that is just horrific. And as the speakers here said today, I will echo what they're saying. Stand up, keep up the fight, contact your Democratic representatives, contact Republican representatives, and tell them that this is not in the best interest of your constituents and that there is a big risk of people losing their homes, which can result in a lot of societal problems. Homeless people being in the street shouldn't be vilified, and these programs prevent people from being put out into the street. That's why I say keep up the fight, keep speaking up, and all the people here today, I say thank you for coming here today and thank you for speaking up. And the fight goes on, and we are going to win.
Thank you. Let's give it up for Conrad Cizik from the Fenway. I want to call up Megalis. Megalis, I'm calling you up. Okay. Or if you're not ready, I can call Jason. Okay, Jason, you're on.
No justice! No justice! No justice! No justice! Hi everyone, I'm Jason Lee. I'm a tenant organizer with the Leaders and Organizers for Tenant Empowerment. We're specializing in organizing tenant unions in HUD buildings across the nation. And when we go into these buildings, the people that live there are folks who have worked hard their whole lives. They're the custodians, they're the janitors, they're the working class that for one reason or another have not been able to afford market rate housing that at this time is spiraling out of control. Over something like 70% of Boston renters are rent burdened. Folks can't afford the market rate rents, the luxury rents, the buildings that are going up right here in this city, across the state, and across the nation, right? What we see when our tenant organizers go into these buildings is we see that these buildings are in desperate need of repair, they're in desperate need of renovation. They're the only spaces that these tenants can live in safely, comfortably, and live stable, comfortable, and safe lives. Without it, they would be on the street. Many of them were homeless before. They don't want to be homeless again. Already, only one in four people who need Section 8 are able to receive Section 8, and that's across the rental assistance programs that we have. Only 1 in 4 people who need it can receive it. And Donald Trump and his cronies over there decide that rather than fund the desperate need for housing across the nation, they're going to put billions and billions of dollars into ICE. They've already cut 32,000 vouchers from the country. And this cut, if it goes through, would cut $26 billion from HUD rental assistance across the board. Across the board, not just vouchers, but that goes for the Section 8 project-based rental assistance. It goes for the Section 8 202 for elderly and handicapped housing. It goes for every program that hardworking people who are just trying to make a life in this country, trying to stay here, trying to care for themselves, care for their family, and live a dignified, happy, and decent life. They're cutting the resources that they rely on to do those things, to live out those dreams, right? And instead, what do we get? What do we get in this budget? Not more resources for housing, right? Not more resources for vouchers. We get $45 billion for a border wall that's the largest ego project we've ever seen, right? We get $45 billion for concentration camps. Let's call them what they are, concentration camps. And they say it's for immigrants, but we've heard that Donald Trump is considering using ICE to deport US citizens, right? They came for your neighbors. What makes you think they're not gonna come for you, right? This fight against ICE is connected to the fight for housing because we are here to protect our communities. We're here to protect our neighbors. We live together here. We work for this city. We all pay taxes, and none of it comes back to us. They cut the programs that we rely on, that we want to pay for, that will support us in our lives, just so that they can give more tax cuts to billionaires and millionaires. Does that seem fair? No! So rather than these billions of dollars for Pentagon pork, for ICE funding, for the machinery of oppression, the secret police that will one day be turned on us, I say more for housing, more for Section 8, more for affordable resources, more for the social safety net programs that folks like the people we work with, folks like the people who are here, folks who are standing here on this Friday afternoon, not having a good time, having a desperate time, having a brutal time, having a time where we are motivated to stand up and fight back against the injustices that we've seen. So I say stand up, stand up, stand up. Thanks everyone.
That's great. Well, we are having a good time except for the lack of water, which we'll bring at the next one. I think our last speaker is Magalis. Are you ready? Okay. Let's give it up for Magalis Troncosco from the Dominican Development Center.
Thank you so much, everybody. So, thank you for being here today. I want to take a few minutes to speak directly and clearly about something that affects all of us, our homes, our health, and our future. Donald Trump is proposing a budget that would slash funding for affordable housing programs by 43%. That's not just a number. That is families pushing into the homelessness, seniors forced to choose between food and rent, children growing up without the safety and stability of a home. But it doesn't stop there. He's also targeting Medicaid, a lifeline for millions of low-income families, people with disability, and seniors. Research programs that serve life and advanced science, cut SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program that feeds over 40 million Americans here in the United States. Can you believe that? That is not good. So cut healthcare access too. Cut all the time. Cut to impact us. That's not fair, no? That is not about balancing a budget. This is about balancing power, shifting it away from the people and toward the wealthy few. Let's be clear, budgets are moral documents. They reflect our values, and when a leader proposes to good housing, health care, and food support, but continue to protect tax breaks for billionaires, that is a statement. And a statement that says if you are poor, if you are sick, if you are struggling, you don't matter. You don't belong to here. We don't care. We are greedy. We want more money. So we are here to say we do matter. Do we matter?
Yes.
Do we matter?
Yes.
Okay, so we believe in a country where everybody has a roof over their heads, food on the table, and access to the care they need to live with dignity. So let's raise our voices, not just in protest, but in power. Let's tell the Congress, our local officials, and our neighbors, these costs are unacceptable. Our community deserves better, and we are ready to fight for it. No? Are we ready to fight for it?
Yes.
When do we want to do it?
Now.
Let's fight for it.
Yes.
Thank you.
I think we've gone through everybody that wanted to speak. This was a terrific turnout, a spirited fight rally. And this is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
That's it. And we all know that is on the line here too. So thank you all for coming. We're going to be back. We're going to be back. We already said it once. We'll say it again. We'll be back.
We'll be back. We'll be back. We'll be back.
We'll be back.
We'll be back. We'll be back.
Okay, thank you all. Thanks for coming.
Woo!